This is Renee Collins,
Whitney Acke,
and Rachel Crowe,
and welcome to Overtones. Welcome, everyone. You are listening to the 45th broadcast of Overtones on WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington Community Radio. We are coming to you today from the STEAM Academy. So we are back to school for all of us. We are usually at the historic Lyric Theater, but because of weather today, we've all had to go to classroom 18 at the STEAM Academy, and it's been a great experience, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
We're the Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. I like that. I like that. So I'm Renee Collins, your host, and I'm joined as I am each and every week by Lexington musician and songwriting extraordinaire Whitney Acke. Let's all welcome Whitney to the show.
Thank you so much. In addition, we are so pleased to have as our celebrity guest host back, who is also playing the role of performer today, Miss Rachel Crowe. Let's welcome her to Overtones today.
So Whitney, Rachel, and I are welcoming guests today who have a broad range of musical artistry and significant contribution to the local music scene here in Lexington and beyond.
So in this special edition of Overtones, Singing Between the Lines, we certainly have a great opportunity to do all that and more with this all-star lineup that showcases not only the talent of these incredible Kentucky artists, but also to give the state of Kentucky opportunities to hear them play, see them perform, and to listen locally.
So without further ado, here is your Kentucky Overtones starting lineup.
Actor, artist, owner of Best Creations, Best Edutainment, and Best Workforce Development, a true Renaissance man in my opinion. Let's welcome Somerset's Brian Simmons to Overtones.
She is playing dual roles today as co-host and artist. She is also a business owner, 2019 Lexington Music Award winner, and gives us the blues, but in such a powerful way. Let's welcome Stanton, Kentucky's Rachel Crowe.
We found him and uncovered his introspective and compelling talent a few months back at the Twisted Cork Presents Listen Locally Open Mic Night. And Rachel actually brought him to us, right?
Yes.
Well, we are so glad you did. He found himself the next day on the cover of Matt Wickstrom's Herald Leader article, and a really great picture was taken by Matt Goins, which is one we will always remember. Let's welcome Richmond, Kentucky's John Lovern to Overtones.
And just hot off a CD release on March 1st, we are so pleased to have Maysville, Lexingtonian, John McHugh, Georgetown, Kentucky, Garrick, Howell with us in the studio today, and we're glad that they are here. Let's welcome Garrick, Howell, and John McHugh on Overtones today, everyone.
Y'all ready for this?
And Whitney, we are going to start this all off today with a special musical offering from our beautiful and talented celebrity guest host, Rachel Crowe. What are you going to kick off this opening segment of Overtones with us today?
This is something I played at the Lexi Awards. It's I Can't Quit You. I played it with John New and Kenny Meredith at the Lexi Awards. They're my beardos.
They are your beardos.
But they're not with me today, so it's just me by myself.
Her by herself with a classroom in Classroom 18 at the STEAM Academy. So let's give it up for Rachel Crowe, everybody.
I need help, a little remedy. I got a problem, baby. Now you use it against me. Oh, baby, please, little sympathy. Love and use a heartache, baby. Now you know I never leave, but I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. Got this pain down in my chest. Love and use a heartache, baby. Make me wanna call an ambulance. No, I can't eat, baby, I can't sleep. You got me walking around like a dead now, baby, cause you know you made a shell of me. But I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I can't quit you, quit you, quit you, baby. I need help. I need help. I need help. A little remedy.
Thank you so much. We are going to hear more musical offerings from Rachel, but for now, Whitney and I are going to put the headphones back on her and get her ready to interview all of these amazing men we have in the studio today. So stick around as we will be back with John Lovern right here on WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington Community Radio.
Cut my teeth in Jackson County. That's where I spend most of my prime. But I reside in East Kentucky. That's where I trace my bloodline. My family's been here for the long haul. They used to own most of this land. Over time, the farm has settled. Busy lives can lend a helping hand. Here come a long arm of the law now, collecting taxes on my home. But if I don't have the silver, it won't be my home for long. I try to chase away the anger corn liquor brings it back in vain. That old sheriff, he don't give a damn. He'll never understand my pain. But now they got me on the railroad, working my sorry ass away. But I ain't making me no living, just paving roads for doggone train. Here come the long arm of the law now. They done took everything I own, leading me a bootleg shot of whiskey, so I don't face this all alone. But here I died in East Kentucky, on the West Virginia line. 20 years out with the chain gang, I finally served all my time. I'm on the fastest route to nowhere. I had no gospel in my life. Can't repent if you ain't living. You're gonna be the railroad ghost of time. Here come the long arm of the Lord now. Settle my fate on Judgment Day. But I ain't got me no heaven. Hell on earth is where I'll stay. Wish I could ride out toward the sunset. Wish I could break from these chains. Yeah, but for me there ain't no leaving. You can't hurdle over heaven's gate.
We are back, and you are listening to Overtones, hosted by Renee Collins and Whitney Acke. And also today, we have celebrity guest host Rachel Crowe on WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington Community Radio. You have just listened to the sounds of John Lovern. Let's welcome John Lovern to the show, everyone. So, John, tell us a little bit about that song that you just sang.
Well, that was the second song I ever wrote. It's called East Kentucky Blues. And I was just watching Robin Hood one day, and I was watching how the sheriff came in and took all the hard-earned pay from all the hard-working people, and it kind of struck me, and I wrote a song about it.
That is fantastic. I have to ask you while I have you here in the hot seat. When I hear you, I think a lot of Sturgill Simpson. Do you get that a lot?
I actually don't, but that's a great compliment.
There's some nuances in your voice that I'm like, wow, that is a really cool sound. I really love what you do. What are you going to sing for us next?
The next song I'm going to do is called Maybe This Shit Ain't For Me. And it was in a time when I wasn't too happy about the way things were going, so just kind of spilled out on paper, and I went with it.
Let's give it up again for John Lovern.
Feeling washed up, washed out like the gravel that spilled on this driveway. Yeah, when it rains, it pours, and this old world, it ain't spinning my way. I spent hours upon hours just trying to write a song to convey to the masses, or anyone that is, all the ways I've done wrong. And from my life in Berea, at the mercy of my mother, and picking up on bad habits, running round with my brother. Still chipping away at a college degree, 'cause that's what I've been told I need.
After 7 long years of many beers, well, maybe this shit ain't for me. Well, in the eyes of the public, well, I'm a figure, a man all achieved. A precious wife and a family that cater joys for free. They spent hours upon hours just trying to help me succeed. Oh, but they don't see behind the scenes and all the locks without keys. And from my life in Berea, at the mercy of my mother, and picking up on bad habits, running round with Big Brother. Still chipping away at work every day, and tell by the age in my face. After 7 long years and 10,000 beers, thinking maybe this shit ain't for me. Well, I'm still just a poet, didn't even know it. It's just now slowly showing, but I'll carry on, oh, just as long as the wind surely blowing. I don't know where I'm going, that wind keeps on blowing. Feeling scuffed up and stepped on like the porches in front of this doorway. Yeah, no matter the good or the bad, I gotta keep trucking anyway. I spent hours upon hours, but I still can't write a song. It'll share my accounts of what to swerve around and point me where I belong. From my life in Berea, at the mercy of my mother, and picking up on bad habits and getting drunk with Big Brother. Still chipping away the song every day, I'm stressed till my hair's all but gray. But after 7 long years of listening to peers, old honky tonks and pressures from beers, you're struggling my way through the blood, sweat, and tears, thinking maybe this shit ain't for me. I'm feeling washed out like the gravel spilled on this driveway.
So now is this shit for you?
I guess it's getting there, maybe.
Well, I met you in Irvin, and we were doing an open mic night, and I was like, dude, that right there, that line, and I don't even remember what the line was, but I was like, that right there, blah, 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 that's what's up. And then I think we met each other again I don't know, a year or so later.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I was like, "What are you doing? What's your life?" And I stumbled into the BBH. Now that's your
what-
home,
yeah,
right?
That's my home, Bluegrass Barrel House in Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah. I stumbled in there one Thursday night. I was like, "There's a Lovern," and he is singing. What are you doing? Why are you not doing this? So tell us what some of your favorite places are now that you've got a little exposure.
I definitely love the Twisted Cork. It was an awesome opportunity. It really opened a lot of doors for me. After that, I ended up getting a gig at Mo Kentucky Foam, which was an awesome time. They had all kinds of great beer and stuff. But the next one, actually with you, we went to Slancha House in Georgetown and picked that up. So I'm pretty excited to do it as well.
So you just did my old Kentucky Foam on Sunday. So
Yeah.
tell us how that went.
Oh, it was killer.
Yeah.
Great crowd. The staff there were phenomenal. Anytime I needed a drink, it was like right in my hand. But anyways.
And they've got great pizza too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are you going to sing for us next?
This next song is called The Legend of James Darwin Jr. And I actually wrote it about a friend out of Berea, and he lives right on the Mount Vernon line. His name is Jamie Wilson, but his I think his birth certificate says James Darwin Jr. So.
So you're not protecting anybody's innocence.
I don't guess so. Laid it all out. I guess I should ask him. But.
Well, thank you so much. Here is John Lovern on WLXU Lexington Community Radio, 93.9 FM.
In the middle of the state on that thin Mount Vernon line lived a little ornery fella filled with Waylon Jones and pride. Raised on milk, cornbread, and running jars of shine. His mama never thought she'd have a son half his size. Yeah, on half his size. Hey, born in the year of 1909 and Howell. Said the story's been told, he could live a grown man from the floor. Well, you ain't want no trouble, you best leave that man alone. He's tucked up in them mountains with the rhythm in his bone. Well, James Darwin Jr., he'd always been the rambling kind. He'd head down south on them union dues and put in all his time. When the job was done, he'd hop the bus, he'd sleep the whole damn ride. He'd reach the bluegrass at a food stamp show and try to get his mind to right. Yeah, and get his mind to right. Hey, born in the year of 1909 and Howell. Said the story's been told, he can live a grown man from the floor. Well, you ain't want no trouble, you best leave that man alone. Well, he's tucked up in them mountains with the rhythm in his bone. If you're loving kind, we'd adore you for the night. When the sun peeks through the holler, he'd be running out of sight. With a youngin' needin' tending to and a habit needing fuel, he'd work another 12 and spend his evening by the motel pool. by the motel pool. Hey, born in the year of 1909, and oh, said the story's been told, he can knock a grown man to the floor. Well, you ain't want no trouble, you best leave that man alone. Well, he's tucked up in them mountains with a rhythm in his bones.
Thank you so much for being with us, John.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Stick around as we will be back to speak with the incredible Brian Simmons, who is going to talk to us about Dr. Seuss Week and more, and how he has used his outstanding skills and talents to contribute to this week in a powerful way. Coming up next on WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington Community Radio. Back, and you are listening to WLXU 93.9 FM, and Whitney, Acke, and Rachel Crowe are by my side today, and we are also pleased to welcome Somerset, Kentucky's Brian Simmons to Overtones. Let's give him a hand, everyone. First of all, in this room, we have a lot of support for a cause we all feel very passionate about, and that is the concept of listening locally. In May of 2018, Whitney, Warren Cobb, Ray Adams, and myself embarked on a journey that has been born out of a passion we all felt about the talent in the state, thus encouraging everyone to make a choice to listen locally as much as they possibly could do on a daily basis, and to incorporate this philosophy into their daily lives, and to do that in a very inclusive way, meaning that all who are willing to share their gifts and talents would be provided with platforms that extend past the traditional, like concert, for example. So this being said, we now have 12 incredible venues, 12 incredible singer-songwriting hosts that have joined musical forces with us to host Listen Locally open mics across the states. And these venues now extend from Western Kentucky to Eastern Kentucky, and from Southeast Kentucky to Northeast Kentucky, and a whole lot of Central Kentucky in between. Warren has even made a bigger stretch goal for us to have one in all 120 counties. Wouldn't that be just phenomenal? Noting that we are 10% there. So I say this because we want everyone in Kentucky to have a place to share their talent, no matter what it is, on a stage within a 1 hour radius from their home. I mentioned the words diversity and inclusivity here because it is a passion of mine, and I love finding ways to incorporate this passion into what we do at Listen Locally. It would be really easy to associate Listen Locally with just music. However, our mission is to encourage, embrace, and engage everyone in a way that incorporates the act of listening, and that could be done in the following formats, like music, theater, poetry, audiobooks, listening sessions, oral history projects, documentaries, dialogues, and productive conversation. And the thought being that the words listen and silent share the same letters. How many of y'all knew that? And when we listen to someone, we actually hear them into existence. So without further ado, I have someone on this show today who I feel not only models the act of listening, but provides us with opportunities to do that in a way that encourages and embraces and engages people in all kinds of different ways. Let's welcome Somerset, Kentucky's Brian Simmons to the show today. So, Brian, to set this up, tell us about what you do for a living and the ways that you encourage, embrace, and engage people in the act of listening locally.
Well, I do many things for a living if you ask a lot of people, because that is a prime question. What do you do? My primary job is, and has been for 30 years, a senior certified human resources professional. So I've been studying human behavior in the workplace for the last 30 years. Now, with that, comes a lot, dealing with imperfect humans, being imperfect yourself on a daily basis. What can go wrong? Just about everything. So I've been doing that, but I've been a professional actor since I was 16 as well. So I sort of merged the best of both worlds and came up with a style of presentation that I call edutainment. Meaning it's going to be the top in education that you get. It's going to be engaging. We engage the brain in the transference of learning, and it's entertaining.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. And you and I share this background as well. And it's really interesting that we met each other on Facebook through mutual friends and found out that we have a lot in common in what we do, right?
Definitely. And that's one of the things that really drove me to, at this stage of my life, say, you know what, I've been doing this in human resources for a while. Now I want to live out my purpose and just edutaining people.
Yeah, and likewise here. We've been trying to find ways, as you know, to incorporate some of the things that we do in businesses with musicians.
Right.
One being mission statement workshops and helping them identify their short and long-term goals.
Right.
And it's been really well received the very first week that we've had it, Whitney, and we have all kinds of interest in it. But
it all ties together.
It really does. And we're going to talk about those ways, but talk to us about your role in Dr. Seuss Day or week. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss Week. What's so interesting, I do a lot of audio books. So a lot of times I will receive scripts from different publishers, different authors and writers. And sometimes when I pick up a book and I start reading it, it just becomes a part of me. And it just seems that every time I've picked up one of Dr. Seuss's pieces, I just embody him and what I can just picture it and live it and breathe it. And so when I picked up The Places You'll Go, that was just one of those that I could actually feel the spirit of Dr. Seuss, of what he was trying to say, and I just somewhat made it my own.
I'm getting really excited about hearing this, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you were in the news recently for your Dr. Seuss interpretation and delivery.
Yes, we had, of course, Dr. Seuss's birthday is March the 2nd, so as close around that, they always have Read Across America highlighting the importance of reading. And schools oftentimes will have people come in and read the book. And I do a little bit differently because I actually perform the book when I present it. So it's just a little different touch on it. And they had a great celebration. Hopkins Elementary in Somerset. I did a performance in London, Kentucky as well. And people were just overwhelmed, I guess you would say.
Well, I'm excited to hear this. Are you, Rachel?
Yes.
Are you, Whitney?
Awesome. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so without further ado, here is Brian Simmons, The Places You Will Go.
Oh, the places you'll go, by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations! Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You'll steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you'll be the guy or gal who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsie as you. But when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest. Except when you don't. Because Renee, sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all caught up in a prickly perch. Your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump. And chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? Or how much can you win? And if you choose to go in, do you turn left or right in 3/4 or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You'll come to a place where you'll be so confused that you'll walk down miles down weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, to a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for all the hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or pot to boil, or better break, or string of pearls, or pair of pants, or wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. But no, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying and find the bright places where the boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you're right high. Ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Or gal. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame! You'll be as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't. Because Whitney, sometimes they won't. I'm afraid you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone. Whether you like it or not, alone is something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll run into things that scare you right out of your pants. There are many things between hither and yon that will scare you so much you won't want to go on, but on you will go though the weather be foul. On you will go though your enemies prowl. On you will go though the hacking cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. Squeak, squeak. On and on you will hike, and I'll know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with great care and tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. So never forget to be dexterous and deft and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Lexington Community Radio, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Renee or Warren or John or Rachel or John or Garrick or Whitney or Mark or Brian or Bray or Mordecai, Van Allen, Ali O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Oh, the places you'll go. By Dr. Seuss.
Whitney, what are your thoughts on that performance?
I, too, am blown away. That was incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
Thank you.
It's fun. I like all the ad lib because he mentioned all of our names and Renee a couple of times. It was
I like that.
Yeah, it was like
I think we all got in there at the end, didn't we?
Yeah, we set him up. He was like, he did not even have the book. I'm like, you are seriously an entertainer.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's the thing I need to make clear to our audience that could not see that.
That's awesome.
I said, do you need your book? He's like, oh, no.
No, that's not amateur
And then
hour.
Garrick actually offered to read it library style back there and flip the pages for us. So it was really fun. Okay, Brian and I share the career field, a love of this career field, actually, for organizational effectiveness, diversity, inclusion, and human resource development. And also what he calls, and I love this, he calls it edutainment. What is edutainment, Brian?
Edutainment is really about transferring learning in a different way than the traditional means. Traditional means has been the static lecture, read the book, try to gain something out of it, whereas edutainment really immerses you in it and it engages you, which is one of the second portions that I put in there. The first is educational component. Any topic, it has to be the top information on it, and I like to say I'm what they call the Paul Harvey of facilitation. So I'm going to bring the outcomes on the topic that nobody else is telling you. You know what I mean? So if I'm discussing, let's say, sexual harassment, I'm going to tell you what the law really is, but then I'm going to tell you beyond that what harassment is in general and the different type of harassments beyond sexual harassment. So I always play it out, as I say, and bring people the educational information you're not getting anywhere else on the topic. And then it's engaging. I design different engaging activities throughout the sessions that get you up on your feet, get you really thinking about it, really getting your brain engaged into the learning. And then it's entertaining through means of storytelling, role playing within the sessions and things like that, getting people involved, and with music. I mean, that's the connection. People learn, and the transference of learning is greater when they're being entertained when they do it because they remember the experience and they retain the information.
Well, that is the rest of the story, folks.
That's it.
Wonderful. So let me ask you this, because this is a really curious question of mine. What principles do you feel musicians and artists can learn from the art of doing edutainment? In other words, how can they blend education and entertainment together on their onstage performances or even in their songwriting?
Oh, definitely in the songwriting. Songwriting is about telling stories. And that's what we do in edutainment. We tell a story that leaves you with a particular experience on a matter. And we want it to be positive. Now, all songs aren't necessarily going to be positive in content, but it can make you positive in feel. And it's about how we make people feel with what we do and the talents that we have to offer. And a lot of it is in tone and pitch of voice. So the way that you say what you say. See, I could tell Rachel, that's a nice jacket in front of everybody like that. Or I could say, hey, Rachel, that's a nice jacket right there.
You better quit.
Exactly. See, that's a difference between a compliment and a harassment complaint. Is in the tone and pitch of voice, right?
I guess both of us going to get harassed here in a minute.
So, for musicians, it's about, their tone, their performance technique and that. And that's the same thing that plays out, on the educational side as far as presenting the information that you have to present. All business is show business.
I'm hearing a tagline here, right?
Oh, yes.
Whitney, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a great motto. All business is show business, because really that is quite true. It really doesn't matter what you're in. And as far as musicians go, the way that you present yourself, even off the microphone to venue owners and that type of thing. And, you don't want to harass them. So watch your tone.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And we hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
Of just a lot of musicians not really understanding how to go to market with their own, skills.
Right.
And how to
it's a slippery
communicate.
slope sometimes.
It is. A lot of things too, Rachel. We speak at a lot of conferences all across the nation for different things. And at those conferences, they have entertainment. And so I've been able to meet a lot of entertainers and recommend and refer a lot of entertainers to groups and associations that have these conferences. And that's why I'm so stoked about the talent that we have through Listen Locally, through Overtones, because when they're calling me to be a keynote speaker, I can also say, and I want Rachel Crowe to entertain the crowd.
Yeah. Hey, I'm liking the
I
word. I'm
want
liking where this
Whitney
is going.
Acke.
That's right.
Yeah, see, so
No, I 100% believe in that. I mean, we were just talking about trying to move John down into Somerset.
Right.
He's a very good friend of mine. So I want to make sure that he gets what he needs in here and there and all that. Has a family.
That's it.
That we all support each other, try to get everybody the gig, because there's only so many gigs.
Right. And we take care of them down in Somerset now.
yeah.
I got to get that
Yes.
in.
You
I got to
sure
get that
do.
in,
Everybody
baby.
thinks
There
I'm
is
from
no doubt.
Somerset
It
because
is amazing
I basically
there.
camp out down there.
Yeah.
I'm
There
telling
is
you,
no
and I
doubt.
think that's a great point, Rachel. Absolutely. Because while we're seeing in Kentucky fewer and fewer venues offering the opportunity for live music, what we do know about Kentucky is that there is enough love for everyone.
Yes.
And there's enough space for all of us.
I don't
So,
ever want
yeah.
someone to be denied the music of my friends.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And that's why it's so important. Like I said, I've mentioned this on Facebook, and I know I've done it to death, but it's not about slicing the pie, right? It's about finding ways to make more pie or to make the pie bigger. Right. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the traditional ways that we kind of think of. It's just there's only so many venues and there's just way too many singers and songwriters. But what can we do to provide more opportunities? And some of those may be in ways that we're not even thinking about right now.
That's it.
And that's why I think it's so wonderful to get everybody in the same room to kind of brainstorm some
Go
of
to
these
the
ideas.
show,
Right?
buy pizza,
Yes.
buy beer,
Exactly.
put tips in the tip jar.
Yes.
Musicians are notoriously bad, and they have lots of children and girlfriends that they have to go and support because they're out on Friday and Saturday nights.
You're right.
They're out on and entertaining you. So, give them some love. Go to the
Yes.
show. Give
Yes.
them some tip money so that they don't get beat up on the way back home.
And that's the thing. And we, as artists in general, have to support each other. So even if you don't sing, if you don't play an instrument or whatever, you can carry an instrument when they're done playing. You
There you go.
Well, that's a
can
great
carry a
point
speaker.
because a lot of my friends are not musicians. They're
Right.
they're actual visual artists, and they have open shows that you go in, and if nobody shows up, there's nobody going to put their work out to see. So,
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's a habit that I have. If I'm not playing, I'm at a show.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. If I am not playing, I am at a show.
And what can we do when we are in the audience to support the venues as well? And that's the third piece of,
Right, yeah, of course.
buy some dinner, buy some drinks, make
And listen.
it very
And listen.
easy
Listen.
for
Be quiet, y'all. Listen.
and listen.
And if you like the people that are playing, or you like the visual art that's around, please tell
Yes.
the venue.
Absolutely.
Everybody that'll listen to you.
Right.
All your
Yeah.
friends, their grannies, their cousins, you tell them that it's good.
And, a few things too, as far as presentation is concerned for artists, is you have to learn how to read the audience. So you can't necessarily play what you want to play if it's not what the audience wants to hear at that time. So read your audience, and then as well, learn how to work with the microphone. I found a lot of artists that they smother the microphone, and if you can't understand the words of the story that's being told, that communication is broken. So now you have missed communication, and you lose engagement with the artist.
Yeah, that I preach that a lot too, because I'm hateful sometimes on my microphone. I am loud. Ooh, I am loud.
It's
but mic
beautiful.
work,
It's good.
But mic work, that was lots of years.
Yeah.
Lots of years of mic work, so that I just don't bleed people's ears dry and don't scream at them all night. So it's not so loud and so intense all the time. There has to be a dynamic to it. I love it. That's great.
Well, Brian, we are so thankful you've been with us here today on Overtones.
Thank you for having me.
You have told me you might start making appearances on the Listen Locally open mic stages doing your thing, but for now we've had the honor and pleasure of opening our musical minds one note at a time today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will be back with more music from Garrick, Howell, and John McHugh coming up next on WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington Community Radio.
I'll be leaving in the morning, saddled up and ready to ride. And just like Roy Rogers, I got a guitar by my side. Before this day is done, hope it won't take long. I'll be close to home, 'cause I'm Kentucky bound. Peace of mind, kill a little time. Been a hard day, it didn't go your way. Ought to take a spin, leave the trouble in. You say where, man, I don't care. Let's go for a ride. We won't be all night. Hear your head and forget what you say. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Let's pick up Jack, he's got the goods in a sack. And then we can groove, yeah, we can really move. And don't forget Bobby, this is his favorite hobby. Having a time, haven't spent a dime. Let's go for a ride. We won't be all night. Then clear your head and forget what she said. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Let's go for a ride. Won't be all night. And clear your head and forget what she said. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip. Listen to the air sing down in your chair. Let it rest on your lips while we're cruising. Just a quick trip out cruising. Just a quick trip out cruising the strip.
Welcome back to Overtones on Lexington Community Radio. And Rachel and Whitney, how awesome has it been to hear the sounds of all of these incredible musical people, humans, wonderful people, on this special edition of Overtones, Singing Between the Lines. Let's welcome Garrick, Howell, and John McHugh to Overtones.
Hey, friends.
How you doing?
Howdy. Good. I've known these two for quite a while. We used to get real rowdy together before we all got grown before we started adulting.
And then you have like kids.
Yeah. Right, which we like this. We're not complaining, but tell me, you all have a new EP out, is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's a duo EP. Is that a good way to say it? Because I know you've each had solo projects, but is this a first?
This is a first, and we haven't figured out a good way to say it yet, but the duo is a good start.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love seeing. What's so great about John and Garrick is that they are truly like the best friend brothers that they could ever be, and it's magic. Talk about that a little bit.
We haven't yelled at each other in like 20 minutes.
There's still time.
It's like an odd couple situation.
We started playing music probably 10 years ago. Close to it.
Yeah, something like that. 10 or 12. It was hazy.
And we've basically been playing ever since, but we've all gone off and done our own separate things. Mm-hmm. And then I did a solo album a few years ago, mm-hmm. which he helped me co-write everything on. Mm-hmm. And then he did a solo album last year.
And he co-wrote everything. We just basically write a bunch of songs, and then whoever's turn it is to make a record is who's up.
And it was my turn for this one. This was intended to be my solo album, and I already had 2-3 songs out of the 6 that I wanted Garrick to sing on, and I was like, you're writing them, I'm writing them, we're both singing on it. It kind of makes sense. Let's just both put our names on it. So that's how we ended up that way.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome because I really do feel like in the musical community here in Kentucky that when I think of Garrick, I think of John, and when I think of John, I think of Garrick. It is such a beautiful partnership, and I don't mean to like be all sappy here, but it really is such a true testament to working for a long time together and producing wonderful music.
Here are Garrick, Howell, and John McHugh on Overtones.
Something in the air smells a little bit like loneliness. She been gone a little too long, me to be such a mess. And I guess time ain't to heal it. Everybody said it'd be. Ain't enough time, baby. Why does it look so easy when it seems so hard to me? A different shade of blue, a different shade of blue. And everything I was thinking, thought I'd come out on the other side. Soon I'm moping and hoping, looking for a hole to crawl inside. And I guess time ain't to heal it. Everybody said it'd be. Ain't enough time, baby. Why does it look so easy when it seems so hard to me? A different shade of blue, a different shade of blue. go round, pulling on me from a new point of view. And everything I'd forgotten keeps telling me I'm missing you. And I guess time ain't the healer everybody said it'd be.
Ain't enough time, baby.
Why's it look so easy when it seems so hard to me? A different shade of blue, a different shade of blue.
Yeah. So I've met you, Garrick, before,
Yes.
but I haven't met John. And you all sound beautiful together.
Thank you.
I
Thank
mean, it's just really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
So, tell us, what is the name of the song you're going to close out your segment on Overtones today with?
The next song is Can't Catch Me Now.
Let's give it up for Garrick and John one more time.
Well, I gotta leave as soon as I can, 'cause I can see about to hit the fan. My woman says she needs a man, but who is she to say who I am? Won't go quietly, leaving this old scene. One last impression to remember me. Time's come to go, there's gonna come a time she gonna need a friend, she won't cross my mind. Gonna let the road meet the rubber. Lord knows, my days are numbered. Try to slow me down, can't catch me now. You can hold me up, but won't settle down. Gotta make my mark on another town. Gotta find a place with a chunk of land. It won't be long till I'm in demand. I'm gonna let the road meet the rubber. 'Cause Lord knows, my days are numbered. Try to slow me down, can't catch me now. try to slow me down. You can't catch me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening locally to Overtones on 93.9 WLXU. We've been so happy to have Rachel join our side these past few weeks, and we can't end this show today without hearing again one more time from Miss Rachel Crowe before we sadly wave goodbye to all these amazing musicians on Overtones today.
Saturday night made for drinking, holding your love close to you, two-stepping in dirty ballrooms. It's Saturday night, she said I do. She's got a ring of gold on her hand now. I got a bourbon glass of mine, just sitting here with all these strangers, trying to drink you off my mind. You remember that old flame Evan Williams? Oh, I said I'd never call again. He's coming to me across the bar now, bringing all my lovers with him. I got a lover from Milwaukee, I got a lover from Tennessee, and I got a lover from Kentucky. And tonight they'll comfort me, and all I care about is heartbreak. And all that's left is pain, just thinking about your memories since you gave your last name. I got a lover from Milwaukee, I got a lover in Tennessee, and I got a lover from Kentucky, and tonight they'll comfort me. Lord, Sunday morning tastes like whiskey, and the sidewalk knows the way back to our little apartment where I banged the nails it away. But I brought a lover from Milwaukee, I brought a lover from Tennessee, and I brought a lover from Kentucky, and now they'll comfort me. Oh, I brought a lover from Milwaukee, no, I'm from Tennessee, and I brought a lover from Kentucky. And tonight they comfort me.
This seems like a great place to end this edition of Overtones, episode 45, appropriately titled Singing Between the Lines. We would like to thank all of our guests, Rachel Crowe, John Lovern, Brian Simmons, Garrick, Howell, and John McHugh, and all of you in our audience for making a choice to listen locally today.
You're hearing the sounds of Louisville, Kentucky's Mama Said String Band performing their instrumental original Moon Twins, as they do so graciously each and every week to close our show.
Until next week, this is Renee Collins,
Whitney Acke,
and Rachel Crowe,
working in concert each and every week to bring you the best this great state of Kentucky has to offer music fans, reminding you that where words fail, music speaks.
Have a great week filled with music, family, friends, and a lot of love.
Listen locally.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'll be leaving in the morning, saddled up and ready to ride. And just like Roy Rogers, I got a guitar by my side. Before this day is done, I hope it won't take long. I'll be close to home, 'cause I'm Kentucky bound. Got this lady on my mind, and she's so fine. Been seeing her for a while, she's saving all her loving just for me. I'm Kentucky bound. I got money in my pocket, but don't feel like it should. I'm not in it for the money, I wouldn't change it if I could. There's a lesson to be found in every single town, and I'm making ground, 'cause I'm Kentucky bound. Got this lady on my mind, and she's so fine. Been seeing her for a while, she's saving all her loving just for me. I'm Kentucky bound. I'm Kentucky bound. Take her out. Got this lady on my mind, she's so fine. Been seeing her for a while, she's saving all her loving just for me. I'm Kentucky bound. I'm Kentucky bound. I'm Kentucky bound. I'm Kentucky bound.
There you go. Yeah.